did, and the most important thing that I found during that time was honestly talking to my mom. Um, a mother's love, a mother's care is second to none, and a mother's intuition is also second to none. So, I was going through what I was going through, and I didn't detail it with my siblings, didn't detail it with my parents. I was just soaking in whatever I was going through. And during that time, me and my mom, we talked a lot. She, to come by and check up on me. And that helped me, just having that outlet, having someone to talk to, knowing that someone cared for me, knowing that I had to get through what I needed, what I was going through, because there was people that were rooting for me and cared for me to get through what I was going through. So that was the motivation enough. That was the number one thing that really helped me get through all that. Another one of the things that helped was therapy. I was still, active on my therapy sessions during there. So having that unbiased opinion and sharing, what I was going through with someone and hearing professional opinion of, what I was dealing with, how to get over it, things, different exercises I can use to cope with that if it was to come up at another time, different things like that, that also really helped me. One of those exercises that was recommended to me that helped a lot was journaling. I've never journaled before in my life. And during this time, journaling has served as such a great outlet. Mind you, I was still recording podcast episodes during this time, so I still had an outlet to speak my piece on certain things. But journaling gave me a whole new outlet that I'd never experienced before. I think it's detailed, or it's called something when you see something written out that it does for your like endorphins or it does for your mind. And whatever that thing is called, I don't know why I can't think of it right now, is what journaling did for me. It also held me accountable. Like, it's one thing to be going through something and that thing just to be living in your head and driving you crazy because you can't get it out of your head, and you're trying to find solutions and you're trying to find how to cope and you're trying to find how to make it less severe. And that thing just living in your head can drive you crazy because it literally just ideas just bounce around your mind and they're trying to get out. I don't know if any of you all saw SpongeBob, but it's like that SpongeBob episode when SpongeBob is inside his head and his Nick's just running around and setting things on fire. That's literally best describe, what I was going through during that time. It was just like pandemonium in my head and I couldn't get those things out. So what journaling did, it provided me an outlet to, one, be aware of what I was going through, because I was every day writing out my feelings or texting out my feelings, because I was doing my journaling on my phone, wasn't actually writing. But I was actually typing out my feelings. And so I was aware of what I was going through and how I was dealing with them and how were they making me feel. But also was being very honest with myself. Like, I don't feel too good today. I did this and it didn't serve its purpose, or I saw this and it made me feel a certain way, or I had this conversation that made me feel a certain way, or I woke up and I was feeling like this, or I'm going to sleep now and I feel like this. Just seeing those type of things being written out, but also getting it out of my head, it serves a great purpose for me, because now I'm more aware. I'm not, if you don't get those things out of your head, another thing it can do for you is create this false conception in your mind that you're not actually dealing with what you're dealing with, because you're not letting it out of your head. So for one, you're not being truthful with yourself for what you're dealing with, but you're also not letting other people know. And so it's easy to hide and mask those things. And so when you're getting it out and you're writing it out, you're being truthful with yourself, you're being honest, and you're also becoming more aware of what you're dealing with, so you know how to cope with it. So journaling was like one of my favorite things to do in between that time. Another tool I used and found during this time was meditation. Meditation is so great. I was doing it every single day. I don't do it as often now, but I do find time to still do it. And meditation was so great for me because, as I detailed in previous episodes, like, I deal with anxiety, and my anxiety is questioning everything, having questions about every single thing in my life, not being sure about certain things, dealing with a bunch of different things in my mind running 1,000 miles per minute. And what meditation did for me is it just sat me down, figuratively and literally. It just sat me down. It forced me to be one with myself, and it forced me just to focus on the present. And me discovering meditation during that time was critical, because it really just blocked out all the noise, and I've never had that type of exercise before. Like, I play sports, so a lot of people say sports my sanctuary. I don't think about everything else that's going on. Sports kind of serve that purpose for me, but it's like I'm not playing competitive sports at this age. I'm working 8-9 hours a day, so I don't have that outlet that I did when I was 13, 14, 15 years old. Some people use music, they drown in music. And I was doing that as well. But it really was meditation that did it for me, because for one, it was teaching me exercises on one, how to block out those things, but also how to just be present in the moment. Don't worry about what happened yesterday. Don't worry about what's going to happen in an hour. Don't worry about what's happening tomorrow. Focus on the here and now. Focus on your breathing. Focus on what you're allowing in your mind. Focus on those recurrent thoughts that's coming to your mind, and this is how you block them. And so discovering meditation during that time was so critical, because it's helping me in my life now, even though I'm not going through it. Another tool that I found not found during that time, but I kept during that time, was working out. When I first was going through that season of depression, man, I didn't even want to work out. And I'm a person, I'm easily self-motivated. So I don't need, to see something and say, oh, let me get up and go work out, or, oh man, I'm getting out of shape. And I see somebody that's in shape and I go work out. It's like, bro, I just talk to myself, hey, you got to wake up in the morning, get up at 5:30, get up at 6, go run, go to the gym, wherever the case may be. And that has been my life for the past 15 years of my life. But during this time, it was kind of hard to find that motivation to get up and work out. And that was probably one of the most difficult things ever in my life, because I'm not that person. Like, I get up and I work out 4 or 5 times a week, maybe 5 to 6 times a week, actually. So it's just something, it's not even, for me, it's a routine now. It's not even like the thing that I think about. It's like, I know I got to work up. I know I got to wake up and I got to work out. If I don't wake up and work out, it affects the rest of my day. So for me to not have that motivation to do that during that time, it was mind blowing, because I was like, couldn't figure out, like, why the hell am I just sitting in this bed? Why I'm like, because I was still waking up at the time that I would wake up to work out, but I just wasn't getting out of the bed, and I couldn't figure out, like, why the hell don't I have the motivation to get out this bed and go to the gym or go run, wherever the case it may be. And so that was difficult. But once I was, picked up these other exercises and became aware of like what I was dealing with, then I found the motivation to get up and work out again. And once I found that motivation to do that, man, it was my sanctuary, as I just said, as sports is. Because again, the endorphins you get from working out, the progress you see, it motivates you to keep going and motivates you to get better. And so, those 2 or 3 hours I use for working out, I'm blocking out everything, and I'm focusing on channeling all my aggression on this run. I'm channeling all my aggression on lifting these weights. I'm channeling all my aggression on these ab workouts, whatever the case it may be. And it's bettering me, because I'm dealing with all that stuff, and I'm trying to get rid of all that stuff and get rid of all that negativity. So working out it was difficult in the beginning, but it ended up coming back around tenfold and serving its purpose. The last thing, traveling. I'm a person, I travel often, whether that's domestically, whether that's internationally. I guess not really internationally, quote unquote, because I really just go to the Caribbean. I go to different islands in the Caribbean. But just traveling, man. Getting out, seeing new places. Like, I'm the type of person, I don't want to be sitting still for too long. Like, I don't want to be in one spot for more than 3 months. I got to go see something. I got to go see people. I got to go taste certain foods. I got to go, see these beautiful waters and different things like that. And so during that time, I was also traveling, just getting out and seeing new places and new horizons and stuff. And so that helped me. Despite me feeling that way, despite me feeling depressed, whatever the case it may be, I was still getting out and seeing new things and new atmosphere and new environments and breathing new airs. And so that helped me as well, just to get my mind out of that funk that I was feeling during that time. And